Hello to all my story lovers. Welcome back in Storytime channel. I know you are waiting for a new story. Thanks for your love. Today I'm going to read Books for the Cook, written by great Sudha Murty. Before go to the story, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. Now let's go to the story. Aditya was a scholarly king. He was well versed in all forms of learning and held scholars in the highest regard. He believed scholars should be provided with all the help they may need so that they could pursue their studies without worrying about money. He identified some learned people in his kingdom and gave them a lot of money, and they spent all their time reading and learning. Charvaka was once such a person. He lived in a remote corner of the kingdom, yet was famous for his knowledge and wisdom. With the money he got from the king, he built a large school where he trained many gifted students. The school was comfortable with all kinds of luxurious and many servants to look after the students' every need. Some years after starting this school, Charvaka died and his disciple Shantanu looked after the school now. He was a bright student once, but living in luxury had made him lazy. He now only thought of leisure and comfort and had not opened a book for many months. After all, the king's money was always there if they needed anything. Meanwhile, King Aditya decided to test the scholars to whom he was providing his patronage. He sent out a letter to them with a list of questions, inviting them to come to the court to provide the answers. The questions were: what is the depth of sea? How many stars are there in the sky? What is permanent? When Shantanu received the letter, he was at his wits' end. He had no idea what the answers were. He had certainly not learned any of this in the few books he had read recently. He sat sadly, thinking he would no longer be able to stay as the head of the school, and more importantly, would have to give up the comfortable life he was leading. He was so worried he stopped eating. In school's kitchen there worked a clever cook. His name was Dhirendra. Whenever he got some free time, he would sit in the library and read as many books as he could. Seeing the dishes he prepared from Shantanu coming back uneaten, he decided to find out what the matter was. The master had not touched even his favorite laddus in the last few days. Shantanu showed him the letter and told him his worries. Dhirendra read the question and said, "Don't worry, Guruji. I will go to the king, dress you, and answer this question. Nothing will happen to you or the school." Shantanu did not know whether he should trust a simple cook to answer such deep philosophical questions. But he had little choice, so he agreed. He gave Dhirendra his scholar's robe to wear when he appeared before the king. Dhirendra reached the court on the appointed day and introduced himself as Shantanu. The king and the courtiers looked at his sober scholar's gown and believed he was indeed the scholar. "So, tell me," questioned the king in his deepest voice, "have you got the answers to my three questions?" "Yes, indeed, your majesty," Dhirendra bowed and replied. "The sea is as deep as the depth to which a stone can sink. There are 1 crore 11 lakh 12,222 stars in the sky. If you don't believe me, count them for yourself and check. And the only thing in the life that does not change is truth. It does not change with time. It it is not always easy to tell the truth, and the person telling it and the person hearing it should be courageous. The king was pleased with these answers. 1,000 gold coins to the school, he announced. Now Dhirendra removed his robe. Underneath he was dressed in the simple garb of cook. Your Majesty, I spoke about the importance of the truth, so I have to make a confession. I am not a scholar or a teacher. I am a humble cook working in the kitchen of this school. Our head scholar did not know the answers to the questions and was afraid to appear before you. So I offered to come in his place and give you the answers to save the school. I tried to dupe you. I am ready to face any punishment that you may decide to give me. The king was furious. So this was how the learned people of his kingdom behaved. A cook was better than all the scholars put together. Off with Shantanu, he shouted. He is removed from the position of the head scholar, and in his place I appoint Dhirendra. And no more money for these schools either. Dhirendra folded his hands and said, Your Majesty, if I may make a suggestion, when men receive money without working for it, they don't appreciate it. They become lazy and arrogant. I am not learned enough to be a teacher. I will work hard and become a teacher one day, but till then I will remain a cook. Reading books in my spare time, you could support the school as you did earlier, but with less money so they understand its value. The king was pleased with his suggestion. He let Shantanu continue as the head of the school but kept a strict watch over how the money was spent and often visited the school to check on the progress of the students. Shantanu too did not shirk his duties anymore, and Dhirendra continued reading the best books in the land till he became a teacher one day. Now this is the end of the story. Do you like it? Then comment it. Subscribe my channel. Bye bye.